Hello everyone. Cornel West, in an attempt to paraphrase James Baldwin, said that discrimination cannot be theorized, it must be felt. To that end, I would like to talk to you today about what I consider to be the hardest job in the United States of America: raising a black son. I have been fortunate enough to lead America's sons and daughters in combat. I have worked with police officers. I have my own business. I've coached and mentored countless children. I have gone to West Point. I have two beautiful daughters that I'm attempting to raise with my wife to become beautiful young ladies. I've done a lot, but at the end of the day, I don't feel that I've ever had the hardest job that exists in the United States today. And that's not the president, although, albeit that job is incredibly difficult. It is to raise me, a black boy in the United States, in a country that seems to hate him without expressing the hate that he has to be prepared for. Now, I use the word hate, and that is a very, very strong word, but it's appropriate. America has, for all intents and purposes, totally made null and void the social contract when it deals with black men. The reality is that both objectively and subjectively, both statistically and anecdotally, the United States of America has, and our society, more importantly, has decided that we are going to treat black men differently than just about every other demographic, right? We do it both in our healthcare field with how we treat them in emergency medicine and in planned medicine. We've done it in our school system. We've done it in our justice system. We've done it in both in policing and in how we execute the law once the policing portion has been surpassed. We've done it in funding disadvantages inside African American communities, particularly dealing with black men. We've done it in the workplace with discrimination and discriminatory practices when it comes to advancement and pay. We've done it at every single level of every single aspect of how America interacts with black men. And the fact of the matter is that it is incumbent upon any parent to prepare their child for what they're going to face. And that's why I say raising black boys is the hardest job in America. One, mind you, that I don't have, and due to my family circumstances, will never have. However, it still is one that is much more difficult than I think anything anyone else can try and do today. I've mentioned the discrimination that exists in the world into which we've expected black males to exceed, or hopefully exceed. But there's something even more insidious about the nature of what it means to be a black man in America. And that's the fact that everyone wants to tell you that everything is fair, despite the obvious nature to you as a person that it is not. The psychosis that develops in an individual who is told on paper that everything is equal, but experiences in life something extremely different, is of important note for every single person who has to or will ever deal with this situation. We have a media system that picks your top end to either be a rapper, someone who gets a lucky chance at sports, or someone who does something criminal. We have a news outlet system that portrays you as a recipient of a lucky chance, or more often as someone uneducated, or the victim of any one of the aforementioned discriminatory practices that are consistently occurring today, especially being noted in today's civil unrest. That is the environment into which we expect all of these things to not only be totally borne the brunt of by black men, but for them to deal with it anyway, right? They have to excel regardless. And that in and of itself is just ridiculous. Now, I am in no way trying to give anyone a pass to sit on their butt and not succeed. But I must mention, the mere idea of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, pulling yourself up by something you would have to bend over to grab, is inherently ridiculous, just as much as anything else I've already said, and was noted by Dr. King to be so, which is why I find it so funny that individuals try and make it seem as if that is something that should be accomplished or something we should be striving for. However, I do believe in personal accountability, but the myth that one has to rely solely upon their person while not realizing or trying to prepare them for navigating a world in which they are, for all intents and purposes, despised to an extent, is absurd. It's untruthful and it's wrong. I want to praise all of the parents and villages that it took to raise Black boys today in this perilous world that they face. And it truly does take a village. I was fortunate enough to have one that surrounded me, and for all of the parents out there of Black sons realizing the exact same thing, surrounding their children with their villages, I appreciate you and I applaud you for taking the time to do such an incredible feat. For all of the nights you stay up worrying about your son's first interaction with the police, for all of the prayer, for all of the reinforcement of the rule that you have to be twice as good to be just as good, for all of the time that you take to explain the questions of why are they calling me boy? Why are they following me in the mall? Why are they pulling me over? Why did I have to get out of the car? All of those things that happen, I applaud you and I thank you for your continued diligence. Being a parent is a thankless job. I know that in my own experience. But being the parent of someone who will almost never be given the benefit of the doubt, at least when it matters, is an experience all into itself. It is different. It requires more prayer than exists hours in a day. It requires that village that I spoke of. It requires more steadfast assurance, confidence, and understanding than I think most people possess ever in the course of their lives. So to all of you parents, you villages that have taken the time and the endurance to go and take on a task that you must be uniquely skilled to do, I thank you. And as I've always said, I love you all. Wear your badge with honor. You're doing it or you did it. To those who raised me, thank you. I will try to be a testament to the fortitude that you showed in my upbringing. I love you all. God bless.